Hello, everyone at Royal Treatment Travel. My name is Mark Werchnik. I will be your trainer today. And today we're going to be talking about fun jet vacations and all the things that you can do while booking your vacation. We're going to talk about just a simple, basic, single stop reservation. We're going to go into the search page and kind of look at all the bells and whistles that are in there. We're also going to talk about more advanced booking options, such as maybe you have some customers that need 7 nights for the airfare, but maybe only 3 or 4 nights for the hotel. We're going to get into the multi-stop destinations as well. We're going to talk about a pre- and post-cruise type of booking, and also an open jaw. So an open jaw booking is where your customers fly into one city, basically fly from one city, they take their vacation, and then fly back to a different city. So why don't we go ahead and get started here. First thing I want to touch base on is our exclusive nonstop vacation flights. The exclusive nonstop vacation flights are basically seats that us at Apple Leisure Group book. We contract roughly 490,000 seats to sell to customers. So the importance of selling them is great to us, but there's awesome benefits for you guys as well. So I'm going to jump into our FunJet Anchor store. Go under travel info and where it says exclusive nonstop flights. I'm going to click on there. So one of the benefits with the exclusive nonstop flights, we'll talk about where they fly from in just a minute, is you can get up to 17% commission on your air and hotel package. So that's your air and hotel package at 17% if you get one of these value IDs where it has a 2% bonus. Typically it would be 15% for your air and hotel package. So let's compare that to a scheduled air package with United, Delta, American. So on those types of packages, you can receive up to 5% on your airfare commission. And then you would get your normal commission percentage on your land. So there's quite a bit of difference. So you can see there's 10% difference on that commission on that airfare. So it's very beneficial for you to book those specific flights. So I'm just going to jump down below where it says the departure cities that you can fly from. So we have Baltimore, Boston, Chicago O'Hare. That's the one where we have the most seats from. Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Indianapolis, Kansas City, Lansing, Michigan, Milwaukee, where I'm from. It is a nice balmy 47 degrees today. We have Minneapolis, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Rockford, and St. Louis. So just for information purposes, I'm going to jump into where it shows for Chicago O'Hare. But before we do that, just kind of go over some more benefits for you. We offer comps on our groups with our exclusive nonstop vacation flights. So you can jump in here where it says, see here for the group comps available. And I'll just kind of touch base on it. So you guys are going to be going over the 2 different types of groups that FunJet offers on your next training with Anthony. He's our groups specialist. But with that, depending on the amount of passengers booked, you get a group air credit. So you can see if you have a large group of maybe 50, it's a $1,000 air credit. So that can go back to you, it can go back to the customers, however you want. We also offer a flexible group, which offers a promotion code. It's just like booking any regular FIT reservation. There's no contract for you to sign. It's a minimum of 5 rooms. You receive that promotion code, so the customers get a discount and also some additional group benefits. So with the groups your way bookings, you're eligible to receive 1 exclusive nonstop seat, up to $400 for every 20 paid. So again, you can give that back to your customers as a refund, or if you want to, you can add it back as your commission. You just got to notify the group's person. So let's go ahead and get back out of here. So more information on it is air schedule. So you can look at the air schedule. Let's go ahead and pull the air schedule up. This is going to be for all of our origins and destinations. So if we take a look, Baltimore, right here, they go to Cancun, Riviera Maya, they go to Jamaica. It'll give you the days of the week that it departs and your flight pattern. So you'll see 2 through 14. You might see 2 through 21, whatever it may be. That means the nights of the week that it operates. It gives you the valid date ranges and the carrier over to the right. So you can filter through here to see which specific ones that you're looking for. But it's also as easy as going, let's go here, below to a specific origin. So let's say Chicago O'Hare. So you can click on that. It gives you some information, gives you the destinations that are offered, and the booking and travel dates. And right here, it gives you your search page. So you don't have to go back to the main FunJet page. You can do your search from right here. If you scroll below, when you're on a specific origin, it gives you that specific city's flight pattern. It will give you information regarding any baggage fees as well, if there's baggage fees that aren't included. This one specifically is on Frontier Airlines. So with Frontier Airlines, what happens is we purchase these seats from Frontier. At 45 days prior, we build a PNR for your customers. Once that PNR is built and attached to your reservation, the customers are able to go on to flyfrontier.com. They can purchase their seats. They can prepay their bags if they choose to. My recommendation is anyone that uses the specific exclusive nonstop flights on Frontier, prepay their bags with FunJet Vacations. So the example is, if you pay a round-trip bag with Frontier, it's $100 per person for one checked bag. If you prepay it with FunJet, it's $60. So they can save a little bit more by prepaying it, and you're going to be able to add those prepay bags up until 7 days prior to departure. So you can specifically go into each origin that you want. Each one is going to be a little bit different as far as bags, if there's a PNR or not, and so forth. If you want to see the information about that, earning up to 17% commission, there's an upgrade bonus program, and so you can click right here, and it'll take you to a different page. So let's wait for that to load for us. And let's see if that works for us. Alright, well, that's not loading. But we can go back and find that. So that's going to be under your agent rewards, and if you look at the upgrade bonus under the commission, that's where the information that you're going to find it. So basically what it is, it's a value ID. So you might have noticed when you're in VAX, next to your room category, you might see different color boxes. So when we do go into VAX and look at our search, I'll try to find them for you. But the specific upgrade bonus one is going to be red. So if you hover over these value IDs, it'll tell you the specific information that's applicable for it. So you might have an upgrade bonus, or you might have one that says instant OTA price match. You might have one that says waves. So all of our 6 ALG brands went under one rewards program called waves. So you get a specific amount of points for every booking that you make, but you might get some that offer additional wave points. So I'll try to find those for you when we're actually in our booking search. So that's where you can find that as well, is agent rewards, upgrade bonus under the commission area. So let's go back to our FunJet main page. So the easiest way to look for these exclusive nonstop flights is under basically our charter destination search is what we call it. In your Book Now area on the left-hand side, you'll see where it says exclusive nonstop vacation flights. If you click on that, you're going to be able to click on the origin that's offered. So in this case, we're going to use Chicago O'Hare. You select your departure month. So let's say March. You can select a length of stay. I do all, and I'll show you the reason why. So you are able to get up to 4 rooms and 8 passengers on a reservation. That does include kids. And this will apply for booking the exclusive nonstop flights or any of scheduled airfare carriers. If you have an infant who is anyone under the age of 2, and you click right here where it says booking infant, it kind of gives you the information on how to go about it. So an infant you can do as a lap child, or you can purchase the seat. So Typically, if you have a lap child, they're only going to pay basically like an international tax. If they actually pay for a seat, they're going to be paying for a seat. And to do that and book an infant, when you have children on the reservation, you're going to choose however many children. So an infant is considered a child, so you would put 1 for the number of children. And then when you select an age, you either select 1 if you want the seat, or IN for a lap child. Alright, so I'm just going to drop that down to 0. If you have a specific promotion code that you have, you can enter it right here. I always pre-select the travel protection. The all-in-one travel protection is a cancel for any reason coverage. Basically, they get their money back less that travel protection cost. A couple of additional benefits of that all-in-one travel protection we'll go over in just a few moments. So let's go ahead and hit search. So we chose March of 2020 for our departure month from Chicago O'Hare. As you see, it basically runs daily. You might see different destinations in here. So, for example, let's say on the 7th, we offer Cancun. So you might see 3 different areas. So one will be Cancun hotels, and that'll filter out any of the other Riviera Maya hotels. If you choose Riviera Maya hotels, it'll filter out the hotel zone. And then you have the Riviera and Cancun. So that would be the one I always choose, just because of the fact if you use those filters and you have to make changes and they want to go to a different region, you're not going to be able to select it because you already filtered it out. So let's say we're looking at Cancun and Riviera Maya. If you hover over it, it tells you what's available. If you do not see that pattern available, that means it's not available. So in this case, we're just going to scroll down. All right, they got a 5-night, 6-night, 7-night. Let's say they want the 6-night package. All you got to do is click on where it says 6 nights. And let's wait for that availability to pull up. All right, computer, let's go. All right, there we go. All right, so when you pull up a single destination search, it's going to pull up your hotels first. So let's talk about the hotels. We already pre-select a specific hotel for you. So in this case, it's the Rio Palace Las Americas. You'll be able to tell what's selected because it'll pull first, and then you'll have this blue box around it, and it'll say current selection. If you want to see the profile of the hotel, you just click on the hotel name. And you can see all the pictures of the hotel if you want, so you can scroll through, or it has a time lapse as well. Below there, you'll see current promotions that are offered. So let's say you're interested in maybe that honeymoon inclusions. If you click on it, it'll expand it and tell you what's included. You have the hotel details below. This is pretty important because especially if you're going to be doing a lot of groups, where this particular property, you have to have someone 21 years or older in the room during March and April, even though check-in age is 18, because of the spring break rules. You'll find information if they have a parking fee or resort fee, etc. So this one, it looks like there's a eco tax of $1.10 US per day, and a government tax of about $160 US per day. So it's $2.70 a day that you have to pay directly to the hotel. That's not included in your package. You have hotel policies below, transportation information, property information if you're looking to see maybe when it was built, how many rooms, how many floors, etc. You can click right here for amenities, or you can go to the accommodations. So if you click on accommodations, what you'll get is the room category. So like this one says the junior suite. It tells you the view type. It won't always necessarily tell you the specific view type. So it might be garden or pool view, or garden or parking lot view. You never know. So just keep that in mind. Then you have your bedding information here and your occupancy limits. So this one is 3 adults max in a room, no children allowed. since it's an adults-only property. You can click on dining to view the dining information as well. Sometimes you might see specifics as far as the dress code, activities, and then TripAdvisor reviews if you want it. There's this little plus sign that's right next to the hotel name. If you click on that, that'll expand to additional room categories. So one thing I kind of want to point out is, let's take a look at this Junior Suite Ocean View here and the Suite Ocean View below. You see the number 9 next to the Junior Suite Ocean View. That means we have 9 or more rooms available. This Suite Ocean View, you see 6. So that means we have 6 rooms available. So if you see 9, that means 9 or more. If you see the number below 9, that's the actual inventory. So you can actually click on the calendar if you see one available, and you'll be able to see the availability of how many rooms. So it looks like the end of February it's not available. Otherwise, we have 6, starting the 7th through the 15th. Then you have 7 rooms, 9 rooms, etc. The one thing I wanted to point out with this is there's 2 different types of properties that you're going to see within VAX. You're going to see ones that have this calendar and ones without the calendar. The ones with the calendar, us at Apple Leisure Group, we load the inventory. The ones that without that calendar is basically going to be a direct link hotel. So that means if it's available, it'll pull. So just keep that in mind, because you might see specific room category pull a week earlier, and then you go back in, and it might not be there. So that means it's all booked. So just kind of something I wanted to point out. So to the right of there, you see where it has this instant OTA price match. So instant OTA price match means we will auto match against the online travel agencies such as Expedia, Priceline, Travelocity, etc. Since those OTAs, or online travel agencies, really don't pay a high commission, I think they pay up to a max of 5%. Your commission would be capped at 10% if you do a price match against one of those online travel agencies. As long as everything matches, dates, classes of service, hotel room category, occupancy, hotel, as long as you have all that information in a screenshot, it's auto-matched with these specific properties. If you do not see an instant OTA price match, that doesn't mean we won't submit that price match. You can send it over to our price match team, and I'll show you how to do that in a few moments. It just means we don't have an agreement with the hotel that they will automatically reduce our payable. So we have to negotiate with the hotel on those ones to see if they will lower that cost for us. So this one is blue. Let's see if we can find a different hotel. Okay, perfect. Secrets Maroma. You see where it says this waves right here? It's green. If I hover over that, this specific hotel is offering an additional 5,000 wave points for every booking. So that's additional points in your pocket, so you can use that on your virtual Visa, convert it to cash, whatever down the road. And so you can just click on that specific hotel, click on the plus sign, and let's see if there's anything else available. Alright, so they do have rooms that are available, so you can choose that if you choose to. One thing I want to point out is you may see where it says pay monthly right here. Let's click on that. So we actually have a third-party company, Uplift, that we choose to where your customers can apply. It's a soft credit check, and it'll pay their trip off in full. And then they have 12 monthly installments, which it's actually a pretty good option. So our payment policies are you pay your deposit, then you pay your reservation in full up to 45 days prior to departure. Okay, well, sometimes people have a little bit of issues where they can't fork over all that money at once. So if they chose Uplift, they'd have 12 monthly payments to Uplift. The reservation's paid in full. To us, you get your documents. To you, you don't have to get the money from the customers. Any issues with the payment or anything like that, that's between the customer and Uplift. You're not involved with that. One thing I want to point out as well is, on average, for customers that use this pay monthly option with Uplift, you'll see like between a 13 and 50% upsell. Because, hey, you know what? I might upgrade my room category to that oceanfront room category because I can pay for that over 12 months now. Or I might add an additional excursion or upgrade my transfers to a private transfer. So it is a good option for the customers to do, especially when it comes to maybe groups or weddings. Because a lot of times you get friends that, hey, I'm getting married in Mexico in 30 days. Okay, I didn't plan for you to get married in Mexico. I don't have that additional money. Well, you can use this Uplift, pay it off in 12 months. Typically, the interest rate that you pay, or the fee that you pay, is going to be less than what your normal credit card charges for their interest rate. So it's a great option for your customers. So I wanted to point that out. Alright, so let's say we want to go ahead and just select this Junior Suite Hotel. We can do that here. But before we go ahead and select anything, I kind of want to go through the filter options for you. So you can sort your hotel by clicking on that drop down right next to sort by. You can sort it by price point, alphabetically, distance, location, and also by rating. You can do that fine if you know your alphabet. It can go pretty quick, but sometimes I get my alphabet mixed up, so I don't use it all the time. I actually like these filters on the left-hand side over here. So right here, it shows we have 168 hotels available for these dates. Okay, if you want to view all of them on a map, you can click right here. If you have a specific hotel that you want to search for, you can select right here. So let's type in Riu Palace. All right, so here's all the Riu Palace, if I can spell correctly, that are available. So I'm just going to choose Las Americas because I know it's there. That'll filter to your specific hotel. If you need to remove that filter, just highlight it, hit backspace, and hit find again. And that'll pull up all the hotel options again. Right below here, you have a sliding price scale. So if your customers are on a budget, you can just slide that over. So let's say we want about $5,000. All right, that's good. It'll filter down to what's available within that $5,000 price point. So right here, it went down to 158 hotels. You have your options for your star ratings right here to filter by. So if we selected 5-star, there's 59 hotels available. 4-star, 75, etc. You can select by amenities, or let's say your customers don't want any kids at their property. You can filter to adults only right here, and it will filter down to 34 hotels. So it's an easier way to filter out what you do not want to sell your customers. So I'm going to keep it as is, just because one of the other things I want to show you, I don't want any of these filters in place. So let's go ahead and hit select on this Junior Suite at Riu Palace Las Americas. So once you select your hotel, it's going to go to your flight options. The first one that pulls up is our exclusive nonstop flights. Because we want to sell those to you, you make the most money on them, it's the most lenient cancellation policies and revision policies, also offers a lower deposit even without travel protection. So because we need to sell these flights, we always pre-select them. And you'll be able to tell if you have that by this red little C right here, it stands for charter, and it'll also say exclusive nonstop flights right here. So you can see other options available as well. So in this case, Delta, Aeromexico, you can filter on this left-hand side to a specific airline. You can select specific stops, 0 stops, 1 stop, 2 stops. You can filter by departure times, whether you want to filter to the morning, afternoon, evening, and also arrival times. Morning arrival, afternoon arrival, evening arrival, night arrivals. So it doesn't matter which one you specifically book. The process is typically all the same. One thing I do want to point out is if you see this red right here, that means next day arrival. So just be careful with that. Let's go ahead and hit select on these Frontier flights. Alright, so select the outbound, select that return flight. So now from here, we have additional options that we can choose from. You can add a rental car if you choose to. You can add features, or you can remove features from right here if you want as well. So the only travel protection I pre-selected, so I'm keeping that on here. Transportation, okay, I can remove it or add additional transfers. So to add anything else, you would just go to features right here, click on it. And then you can use your filters on the left-hand side if you choose to. So for me, I'm going to use my filter to ground transportation and see what other options we have. Okay, so there's the standard transfers that are $20 per person. Okay, so that's a shared transfer. You can stop up to a couple of different hotels. For $19 per person, you're going to be on a non-stop, so you're not stopping at other properties. You might have to wait 20-30 minutes because some passengers might be coming in right after that, which has that non-stop option as well. So you're going to be sharing that transfer still. It's just a non-stop transfer. You also have private transfers. Private transfers are just your reservation. So you have the private deluxe right here. So a private deluxe is typically going to be like your Lincoln Navigator or Cadillac Escalade. You have limited mobility transfers. So wheelchair accessible transfers right here. That's $91. That's a private. Then you have your private transfer below here at $91 as well. You have a drop down, so you can get up to 6 people on a transfer for the total of $91. Or there's one that's 7 to 10 passengers, that's $132. So you can share transfers if you have multiple reservations traveling together. And they will be round trip. Alright, so I'm not going to add those private transfers quite yet. Alright, so we have travel protection and transfers on here. I'm going to add stuff a little bit later after I show you kind of something from here. On your right-hand side, you have your pricing stamp. Gives you your days prior to departure, your base package price. So your base package price is the package type you chose. So in this case, it's air and hotel. If it's a land-only price, that would be the land-only rate for your base package price. You have adult base price right here. So it's 2 adults right here, $15.77 per adult. You have your options, which will be transfers or any excursions or anything like that. Then it'll break down your travel protection on there as well. Below you have your total package price and then your per person rate. Below there you have that option for your pay monthly with Uplift. If you want to know any included taxes and fees, you can click right here. Your terms and conditions, you can click right here. Or if you want to know additional baggage fees, you can click right here. This will take you to this page, and it will give you a link to click on. That'll take you to a separate media page, and from here, it'll alphabetize all the carriers for you, and links to their direct baggage policy on their website. Makes things a little bit easier so you don't have to go to a specific carrier, find out where they have their bag information, and then scroll through it. If they have an online check-in link right here, it would be posted right here for you there as well. Alright, so you have your email print itinerary. This is just going to be your standard email confirmation over to the customers. It'll tell you your payment due dates, everything like that, and give you your itineraries. It's a pretty standard email confirmation. The one thing I want to touch base on is this email sales tool that we offer. So on this email sales tool, you can get up to 6 hotels or room categories. So you can have a combo. So let's say you have 3 hotels and 2 different room categories per hotel. Or you have 6 different hotels, or 1 hotel, 6 room categories. It doesn't really matter. You just can get a max of 6. You can get up to 3 car rentals. And then also 6 features, all in one itinerary that you can send to your customer. So this will eliminate sending 6 different email confirmations. So makes things easier for you, and we'll go over another really awesome feature in there as well. So let's go ahead and create a sales email. So under your print itinerary right here, it'll say create sales email. If you click on that, it'll refresh and it'll say preview sales email. Well, we have not added anything yet, so we have to a la carte add what we want on there. So the flights are going to be the flights that you have here. So let's go in and select hotel. And let's wait for our hotels to pull up. Alright, so it's expanded. Just waiting for everything to update so it doesn't kick me all over the place. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to add this Junior Suite at Rio Palace, Las Americas. Right below your select button, it'll show Add to Sales Email. Click on that, and you'll see a check mark. So let's scroll down and see other ones. So we have, alright, so Breathless Riviera Cancun. Let's go ahead and add that to sales email. What other ones do we got here? I just want to add whatever. Alright, Valentin Imperial Mine. Let's add that to our sales email. Alright, so we selected 3 hotels. Now let's go ahead and add some features to this sales email. And we're just going to go to our features and add our features a la carte to our itinerary for the sales email. So I am going to add the all-in-one travel protection. I am going to add private transfer as well. Just so they can see the difference between a shared transfer and a private transfer. Alright, there we go. So I had to deselect my filter so I can get to my travel protection. So we have travel protection, 2 types of transfers on here. Let's go ahead and add maybe a dolphin experience. I don't know if any of you have ever done one, but it is amazing. I'm not a big fan of the water because I don't like big fish, but it was pretty interesting when I did it when I was in Cancun years ago. Just seeing these large fish just swimming right by you. I was tense, but it was a really cool experience. So you can go ahead and add one of those to there if you want. So let's add that to our sales email. Okay, so we have our features that we have on here. Let's go ahead, collapse that. Let's preview our sales email. Alright, so this is where you would send it to whoever. So you're up to 10 recipients on here. I always recommend sending one to yourself as well. Below here you have your box. You can remove this, type whatever you want. Gives you your passenger information, so it's 2 adults. Flight information, travel dates. So here's our hotel options. It will go from least expensive to most. And the price you see here is the base price, air and hotel. If you have travel protection pre-selected, it'll pull up here and it'll tell you what the cost is. The one really cool thing on here is when you send this email to your customers, they can click on the components to look at it. So they can click on the hotel profiles, view the hotel profiles, see what's best for them. They can click on the all-in-one travel protection to get the benefits. So let's click on it. Well, mine's not clicking. Alright, fair enough. Below are your features. So they can click on the differences between the private transfer and the shared transfer. They can look at the profile of the dolphin encounter. One thing to keep in mind, the features are not included in that price you see next to the hotel. Up here, it'll show where it says show prices and the check mark is in that box is there. If you remove that, it will refresh. Let's wait for it to refresh. There we go. And the prices are removed. So we all know when you give your customers a quote, they will price shop. If you remove your pricing from your sales email, what it really does is has those customers focus on an overall experience rather than a price point. Because we all know the experience is really what matters when you have a vacation. Some people are conscious budget, which is fine. But if If you want them to just really look at what's best for them, then we can go ahead and price it out and book it for them. So you have that option to remove that pricing. One really cool thing is, let's talk about the GoFundJet sites. I know right now that you guys aren't signed up, and I'll be sending Vicky the link for that. On this sales email, you will have an option to hit book now if you're the customers. So you can have them book straight from the sales email. You guys get your normal commission percentage on it. You guys get credit for the booking. You don't have to do any of the work. They enter their names. They add whatever payment for deposit, etc. Or full payment if they choose to. So that's a really cool feature within the sales email as well, is once you get signed up for the GoFundJet site, you'll have that book now option on these sales emails. Booking administration, I know you guys went over this with Clint. This is where you can add commission. So again, remember, anytime you add an agency fee, we take 10% of that. So if you add $100, we take 10%, which is $10. So let's say you add 100, just hit that commission. Okay, now let's say you want to remove it, just put 0.00. It's that commission. That'll remove it for you. So let's get back out of there. All right. So now let's talk. Updated there. There we go. Under your recent searches right here. So you may have one itinerary up to 10 itineraries that you've been looking at. So let's say your customers want to look at the week after. Or maybe they want 7 nights instead of 6 nights. So, okay, great, not a problem. Let's go back to our search. Not a big deal. You can put in your origin and destination again. Put in your 7 nights and hit search. And I don't think my 7 nights took, so we'll see. Let's wait for this availability to pull up. Then I kind of want to go over what I feel is one of the coolest features that we offer in Pinbacks for you guys. Alright, so it didn't take my 7 nights when I put it in there. No big deal. What I want to show you is every time you hit search, and then hit search to pull up your availability, it'll pull into your recent searches right here. So currently we are in itinerary 2. Itinerary 1 is the one that we're looking at previously. Okay, so let's say this actually did take 7 nights. And now you want to compare it to your 6 nights. All you have to do is, you see this compare right here, there's a little button, check mark. Check mark your other itinerary that you want to compare it to. You can get up to 3, so it says compare 2 of 3 right here. You click on it, and it will pull all the information side by side. It'll give you your package type, your origin destination, the number of guests. You can do this maybe for 3 adults or however you want to price it out. So it just puts it right next to one another. Right now, we are working on a way to email this to your customers. So currently, because it's not available in the email right now, you just take a snip of it or a screenshot, and then you can send it and they can see it side by side. It's a lot easier than going to each itinerary, sending the email confirmations, then you got to go back and forth with the emails. This way you can just see it side by side. If you want to, for you, see your commission, just hit view administrative information. It'll tell your commission below. If you want to hide it, you can hit hide. So that's one of my favorite features. Alright, so the next thing in here, you'll see save. You are able to save an itinerary in Vax up for 14 days. So let's talk about that. You click on save and you can name it. Let's do test max 1. you hit save. Alright, so it's saved. One thing I want to point out is saved itineraries do not save your pricing or your availability. It just basically saves what you were looking at that time. So keep that in mind. It does not guarantee your rates or availability because it's just basically saving the page that you were looking at. Once you pull up your saved itinerary, and it's as simple as hitting this retrieve saved itinerary right here, if something is not available or the pricing changes, it'll tell you when you pull it up. So then you have duplicate right here. I think the duplicate option is great for when you add occupancy. So let's go ahead and click on that. So what this does is it autofills all the information that you previously had in your search. And if you had 3, okay, great. Now when you hit search, it will pull up all of your individual components that you had selected. It will save you a bunch of time of going to each component, selecting the component that you had selected, selecting your flight, selecting your hotel and room category, selecting your features. This will automatically pre-select everything and pull it up what you had. So it'll save you guys some time. So let's wait for that to just pull. There we go, it's thinking. There we go. So it has it all selected for us. So now from here, you can do your itinerary for all 3 adults to 2 adults and send that to your customers. Alright, so it looks like Vicky had a question. Which one did you want me to show again, the compare itinerary or the duplicate? Just go ahead and add that in the chat. Alright, so to do that, under your recent searches, you just click on duplicate. And that'll take you to your search page. So just clicking on it right now takes you to our search page. It autofills everything that you had in there. And then when you hit your search button here, it will automatically pull up your components that you have. So it's an easy tool and also makes things a lot quicker and more efficient for you guys. So just remember that you have those options. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to one of our itineraries and just hit checkout and make a reservation. Alright, so I'm just going to go to my first itinerary by clicking on itinerary 1. Okay, so I'm going to hit my checkout page. Then I'm going to put in some names and dates of birth, etc. Alright, so we're at our checkout page. This is the #1 place where you guys want to quote your customers. That's because if there's any updates in pricing or anything like that, it will pull through. From here, you can select a different room category if you choose to. You'll see that the promos that are offered below are your hotel advisories. This is what you want to make sure you give to your customers. So again, this one specifically has the government fee of $160 per day. Then you have your student group spring break policy. You have your minimum age condition. You have your eco tax of $1.10 per day, and then it shows hotel policy, which is hotel cancel fees at 3 days prior. If you have the all-in travel protection, they can cancel up until airport departure, get their money back, plus that travel protection. Alright, so travel protection, if you do not select anything, you will not be able to complete a reservation. So you have to either A, select the all-in-one, the penalty waiver, which I am not going to go over. It's not as beneficial for your customers. All it is a pre-travel waiver. It only covers exclusive nonstop flights. That's only a pre-cancellation penalty waiver. If you have scheduled airfare, it doesn't cover the scheduled airfare. It won't cover any during travel issues as well. If they do not want it, you can hit decline. So let's say you decline it and then you make your deposit. We currently, within a couple weeks, we're going to have this awesome enhancement where you can add travel protection 7 days after your deposit and backs yourself. So FunJet has had that policy in place for quite a while where you can add it up to 7 days after your deposit, but you'd have to call into the call center. We're really excited about that enhancement. It makes things a lot easier on you guys. Alright, so let's throw in some names here. Gender. If your customers have frequent flyer information, you can hit that right there and update it there. You would have to do that at time of booking, because if you make your reservation and then try to add your frequent flyer information, it won't go over to that carrier. So if you have one of those types of reservations where you made it, customers then give you your frequent flyer information, just go to the airline's website and plug it in there. TSA information here. It's not needed to make a reservation, but you can certainly add it. Right. Oh, Christine. She goes by Christine. Just randomly select some dates. So what I wanted to talk about is under your itinerary tools and special service requests. Special service requests are notes that will go over to the components. So you can select hotel requests. Okay. You can select the bedding type. So in this room category is a king or 2 queens. So let's say they want a king bed. Room requests, non-smoking, or it gives you option for refrigerator, what they all do. Or smoking room, nobody has those anymore. Special occasion, let's say it's my birthday. Yeah, now you have a free form below. So you can type in birthday or Mark's birthday. Or if you have other rooms that are traveling together, you can put quote and then add to quote to Smith, Bill, whatever it may be. So that goes over to the hotel. The one important thing I want you guys to remember is it's always best to do it at time of booking. So your customers are going to tell you if it's a special occasion. So just make sure after you enter their names, you go to under these requests. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because with a lot of hotels being direct link, you won't be able to add those requests after you make the reservation. Then you're going to have to take time out of your day to give us a phone call or send us over an email. And then we'll reach out to the hotel and let them know the correct request that you want. So, good rule of thumb, best practice is at time of reservation. Flight requests, if you have any, you might see on some scheduled air carriers where you have a drop-down box of wheelchair requests. So you would just select whatever is appropriate. Add-on requests, same thing. The one I want to talk about is, let's say you have a private transfer on here. You have another reservation traveling the same dates, itinerary, everything like that. So another couple traveling. You can cross-reference them. So you could put Smith, Bill, using transfer as well. That way, when this gets sent over to Amstar, they will be able to see Bill Smith, and they have access to our reservation, so they'll know is using this transfer. So they'll put the two of each of those reservations on that transfer. If you forget to add a promotion code, here's another place where you can add it right here. So let's talk about the payment information. Some people get confused with how it reads. So I just kind of want to touch base on the easiest way to look at it. We'll split it up in 2 ways. So we have our deposit due down here. It tells you the due date and the amount. So this is $361.98, due on the 24th of November. Then you have your final payment due date, which tells you your final payment date of the 22nd of January, which is 45 days prior, and then your total reservation cost. These two numbers do not change unless you make any changes down the road. So keep that in mind. And up here, you have total amounts of payment. So however much payment you've made. So let's say they paid that deposit of $361.98. Okay, so this would show $361.98. But remember, this doesn't change down here, and this is where people get confused. It'll say $361.98 for your deposit, but I paid my deposit. So just match up what's paid to that deposit. As long as it meets it or exceeds it, you're fine. The balance due is exactly what it is. So it takes your total reservation cost less the amount that you paid, and that's your balance due. You have your credit card information below here. Not really going to go into that much. One thing I want to point out is you may eventually get some customers that work with Southwest Vacations. Southwest Vacations is our only brand where you can apply a travel fund. So if they have an airline credit from Southwest, you can use it in the package. And that would just be under your card type. It'll show travel fund. Then it'll ask you to put their confirmation number and you just verify it. And then you can apply that at deposit. So just keep that in mind. You have payment options here. So one that is not showing up is an automated final payment. So once you put in the credit card information here and go through everything, that will pop up. It's where you can select a specific date that you can have it automatically paid for. One thing to keep in mind, if you pay it off early, it's not going to automatically pull that payment, but if you choose the schedule email reminder and it's the same thing, you're automatically going to get that email reminder sent out. So you can send that to yourself or to your customers. So you would just click on the radio button, click on the date that you want. Let's say it's the 31st of December. You put the email address that you want the email reminder sent to. Pretty simple. Below are your terms and conditions that we're supposed to be going over with the customers. And let's make our reservation. Click right there. Complete booking. Alright, let's wait for that to filter. Or not filter, but to refresh. So we have our reservation number. Alright, so our reservation is made. So this is holding guaranteed for the amount that it says on the deposit. So on this one, 24th of November. So you held the reservation, it's not going to change in pricing. The one things I wanted to go over are right up here. Refund request, price match, and payment request. Let's say your customers cancel when they have that all-in travel protection. Unfortunately, we don't want anyone to cancel. You just fill this out. It goes over to accounting. They'll refund it for you. Accounting will need some type of authorization that you want the money refunded. So either A, you can do it in VAX, or B, you would have to give us a call in the call center, and we would send that over. But you can do it in VAX. It will eliminate the time on hold and start the process quicker. A new enhancement for that is you will be able to see that there's a refund request submitted in the history. So if you just click on history, it'll show it. Price match. This kind of gives you a breakdown of what's looked for in a price match. So they're going to ask for a screenshot, your reservation number, and all the travel components, including hotel details, room type, air details such as fare types and classes of service. Then they'll need a date and time stamp of the competitor. Then all you would do is just email it over to them. You'll get a response within 3 business hours. But the biggest one I wanted to talk about is right here where it says payment request. So you can click on this, and what this is, it's a payment link. This payment link you can send over to your customers. It's good for 24 hours. They can click on the link, make the payment for the deposit or the final payment. So it's a great thing. Maybe you guys are closing at 5 o'clock on a Friday. You made that reservation for them at 5 o'clock. They'll take a look at it. Well, you can send this over to them. And if they want to apply it at 9 o'clock at night, they can. You don't have to take that phone call, be in the office, whatever it may be. So you can send that to them. They can make their own payment. And again, remember, it's valid for 24 hours. If it's outside that 24 hours, just resend the link. So we made a reservation. Pretty simple. So let's go back to our main page. And kind of briefly touch base on retrieving reservations. So right here, you can retrieve a reservation. Obviously, we all know you can retrieve a reservation number. Not a big deal. You have additional filters here that you can use. So maybe you forgot to write down the reservation number or something. Well, you can filter by your booking dates, names, departure dates, origin, destination, promo code. If you have reservations that have a specific code on there, you can type that in there and it'll pull up all those reservations. By agent, so one thing I want to clarify on that, owners, managers, and anyone who has administrative access will be able to pull up all the bookings. If you do not have that access, you'll only pull up yours. Then also booking status, whether it's active or canceled. So let's pull up reservations I made today. Hit search. So here's the reservation I just made. And it gives you options to filter here. So because we only have one, it's not really necessary. But you can click on the booking date, departure date, etc. You see where it says export to Excel right here. It gives you additional filter options. The one thing I love about that when you export it to Excel is it gives you additional filters such as your payment due dates and your commission. So those two right there, for me, are the biggest things because you can filter and sort all your bookings that are going to be coming up with payment due. Or you can highlight all your reservations commission. And if you know how to use the Excel formulas by clicking on the sum, you can see all the commission that you made that year. So those are kind of the two biggest things for me when you have those additional filters. All right. So now we made a basic reservation. We use exclusive nonstop flight search. You can use this general search right here. It's the same thing. We went over the same thing. Let's talk about advanced searches. So customers, maybe 7 nights airfare, they only need 3 nights hotel because they got a 4-night hotel stay. They want a 4-night hotel stay or whatever it may be. So all you're going to do is click on advanced search. And this one's pretty simple. All right, so you're going to select your origin and destination. Let's go to Jamaica. With the number of nights that you need for your airfare. So 7 nights. Again, you got your promo code and everything like that. Here you have additional filter options. You don't have these filter options on your main search page. So just remember, if you're looking to use specific filters, go to the advanced search. If you click on flight, you get your airline, cabin preference, number of stops, etc. One thing I want to point out is if you click on shop by schedule, it gives you more flight options. So when you do the shop by price, as a normal search would be, it matches up classes of service for price point. So if that price point is just outrageous, it will not pull up those flights. So if you're looking for a specific flight and you don't see it, but you know it's available, click on schedule and you'll pull up more options. And also, when you do shop by schedule, you can select specific classes of service. So a few reasons for that would be A, a price match, because you need to match up classes of service, and B, sometimes airlines will allow them to use their frequent flyer points to upgrade maybe cabins. So for example, United Airlines allows customers to upgrade to their Comfort Plus, but they have to be booked in a specific class of service. So you would have to select that specific class of service to book them in, and then your customer would go to the airline, use their frequent flyer points to do whatever upgrade or whatever it may be. So those are a couple of those reasons why you would use that. If you click on hotel, you can use your filter right here to search by a name. I do not recommend doing it on this screen. Pull up your reservation searches. Once you have your search page open, then use your filters on the left-hand side. The reason why is if you use the filter right here and that hotel is not available, you will not even get any availability to pull. So below is where you can offset your air and hotel dates. So let's say they need a check-in on the 28th. Just click right here. Now you can hit search. And we're not going to actually go through the entire booking process. I just kind of want to show you what it looks like. So let's wait for all of that to pull up. Alright, so I clicked on the shop by schedule. So it looks a little bit different. So let's use those filters real quick. If you click on carrier name, it'll alphabetize it for you. Departs, it'll depart from earliest departure to latest. Same with arrival, earliest arrival to latest. Stops layover, 0 to 2 stops. It's going to be very rare you're ever going to see a 3-stop flight, just because the customer experience isn't the best. So we filtered that out so they don't pull. Alright, so we have our airline. Great, we filtered everything down. Let's say you're looking for a specific class of service now. Just click where it says View Class. Then you can select your class. So let's say we want to get T's and Tom class of service. Alright, so you select that on the outbound. I'm just going to select this on the return. Alright, there's no T's and Tom class of service. Okay, so I'm just going to do the next least expensive. And let's touch base on how it reads. So it's like a book, top to bottom, left to right. So most expensive is going to be top left, least expensive is bottom right. Typically, anything after, or I should say before, your Y's and yellow class of service is going to be your premium classes such as business and first class. So let's just set S's and Sam. Now let's go ahead and price selected flights. Alright, so we have a bulk option available and also a published option available. So it gives you the difference so you can see the price differences. So there are additional benefits for bulk fares. So this is where you can get up to your 5% commission on that airfare. A lot of times published fares you do not receive commission. Also, deposit rules. Most standard bulk carriers will have a $200 per person deposit without the travel protection. Compared to published fare, you have to pay the entire airfare up front. Most standard air carriers with a bulk fare, with FunJet, you have a lower cancellation fee. So, for example, United might be $200 per person, compared to published, where their air is non-refundable, but you can reuse it with whatever change fee it is. So then you would just hit select, and what it'll do is it will pull up your itinerary. So I just wanted to point this out where you can see the outbound flight 25th of November, return flight the 3rd of March. Our hotel is the 28th of February through the 3rd of March. Let's say you forgot to offset your air and hotel dates at that initial search page. Not a problem. You can click on hotels, and on your filters on the left-hand side right here, if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see where it says additional search items, where you can click on the calendar and select your dates, then hit search, and that's where you can offset it within the search page. So just remember, if you forgot to do it at the initial search, you can still do it. So that's how you can offset your air and hotel dates. Alright, so the next ones we're going to talk about is the multiple destination page. So to get to the multiple destination page, You're going to go below your book now. Click on multiple destinations. Then from here, you can select your region and the package type that you want. So you have Hawaii, US, Mexico, Caribbean, Canada, flight and hotel, or hotel only. Then you have for Hawaii, air and car packages, or hotel only with optional inter-island air. So you won't have flights from the mainland, but you can have flights from, let's say, Honolulu to Maui or wherever it may be. We offer Asia, Costa Rica, Europe, Panama, and South Pacific. So select your region. We're just going to do Hawaii. Alright, so again, you have up to 4 rooms, 8 travelers on the reservation. When you do the multi-stop destination, the best recommendation is, if you have multiple rooms, book 1 room on each reservation. Just because of the modification purposes, it'll make things a lot easier down the road for you. So we're going to do our departure from, so let's say they're leaving from Denver. Add travel protection, you select your dates. Select your destination, so I'm going to start off in Honolulu. So you can type out Hawaii and it'll give you them, or if you know the specific airport code, you can enter it. Number of nights, I'm going to keep it at 3. So you notice right here, I can't deselect the flight because we chose air and hotel. I can, however, deselect the other components. If I don't need a hotel, deselect it. Car rental, I can deselect it. I'm going to keep the hotel on here. Again, you have your hotel filters. You can offset it here again if you need to. Destination 2. So look at it as going from point A to point B. So destination 1, I'm in Honolulu, going to point B, let's say Maui, which is OGG. And I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. The multi-stop page is a little bit slow on my computer. So you're going to select your nights that you need and then other destinations. So let's say they want to go to Maui for 5 nights. So let's simplify this. Because with multiple destinations, you can get however many destinations you want. But if you look at it as a whole, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So let's say you have a 5-destination itinerary you're looking to price. Okay, what do I all need? That can be a little overwhelming. So if you just look at it as, I'm going from point A to point B, what do I need? So I'm coming from Honolulu to Maui. Do I need a flight, yes or no? So we're going to hit yes, because I'm pretty sure they don't have a hovercraft. Alright, so we're in Maui now. So we got from point A to point B. What do we need? Do we need a hotel? Yes or no? Do we need a rental car? Yes or no? So you can select your other components. If you need an additional destination, click right here. In your multi-stop option in VAX, you have the option to change your city to go back to. And it's as simple as just removing the original, adding the new one. We'll do that in a few moments. But that's where you would do it, is right there at the return flight. You have your flight filters down here. You can expand that, choose specific carrier, cabin preference, or number of stops. Then we would hit search. So let's take a look on how it will look when you do it. We're not actually going to go in and select any of the components. I just want you to get a feel for how the layout will be and kind of the flow of the booking process, because it's backwards from what it was with a single destination. And because multi-destination has a lot more components involved, it does take a little bit longer to pull up. Alright, so it's going to pull up your flights first compared to your hotel. So now you can use your filter for your flights. Let's say nonstop. I'm just going to select whatever. then I'm not going to worry about anything else. So remember, you have your flight options. It's the same thing as booking a single destination that we just went over. So keep that in mind. So I just kind of want you to see how the layout was, where it goes flight first and then hotel. So we have our flights from Denver to Honolulu, Honolulu to Maui, Maui back to Denver. If you needed to remove your inter-island flight, you can just hit remove right here. So now let's hit checkout, just so you can see how the checkout page looks. So it's going to give you your flights, and then destination 1. So in destination 1, you're going to scroll down. This hotel has a bunch of room categories, so you can select your room category from here if you need to. Again, if you need to upgrade at the checkout page, it gives you your hotel policies. So you can add features, view your transfers, car rentals, etc. Then you have destination 2, etc. And then below you have your other features, and then your travel protection, then your names. So it just looks a little bit different than a single destination, and that's what I wanted to kind of point out. Okay, so let's talk about a pre and post cruise. Cruises are extremely popular these days. So while us at Apple Leisure Group, we do not sell cruises, we can sell all the other components that they may need before and after their cruise. So typically what you would see is the flights and the hotel pre-cruise and post-cruise. So this way you can actually get a package with FunJet, and it's the same with all the other brands as well. And you can also offer that additional benefit of that all-in travel protection. Because we all know cruise ships do not always go. They may cancel because they're not full or whatever it may be. So you can offer those additional benefits to them. And then you don't have to go separately. Okay, I gotta book your airfare separate. Gotta book your hotel separate. And now you're gonna get your commission with FunJet Vacations on your package. So we're gonna go back down to our multiple destinations, which is under our Book Now area. And just for the demonstration, I'm going to use a domestic one. So let's say they are going from my hometown, Milwaukee, and they're going to take a Caribbean cruise. And they're going to go out of Miami. All right, so you put in your departure. Destination 1, you select your travel dates. And your destination. So let's say Miami. You're going to select the number of your nights you need pre-cruise. So it doesn't matter, you can do 3, you can do 4, 7. I'm going to use 1. And now I'm going to select the components that I need, because we chose flight and hotel. I need the flight from Milwaukee to Miami. Can't deselect that. I'm going to keep my hotel. I'm going to get rid of my rental car. If they wanted a rental car, you can have that right there. Destination 2 is going to be when they're on their cruise. So we do not need any components. So you're going to choose, you can choose Miami again, or you can choose a specific destination. I'm just going to choose Jamaica. The number of nights you're going to select is the number of nights for their cruise. So let's say they have a 10-night cruise. I'm going to choose 10 nights. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect all the components. Alright, so now from here, I want to add a post-cruise. Because a lot of times when people get off their cruise ship, they don't want to just go to the airport right away. They want to relax for a night. We'll click on Additional Destination. Wait for that to update. Scroll down to my third destination. And because this cruise ship is going back to the Miami, I'm going to put Miami again there. It could be, I know another popular one's Fort Lauderdale, Galveston, Texas, wherever it's going back to. Get your number of nights. I'm going to choose 1, but if they want to stay more than 1 night, they're more than welcome to. And from here, you're going to deselect the components that you don't need. So you do not need a flight because they're on that cruise and they're getting dropped off at port. We're going to keep the hotel. I'm going to remove rental car, but they have that option to do it right there. If they need to fly back to a different city, again, just change it out down here. We'll do that in our next testing. And now you're just going to hit search. Let's wait for all those components to pull up. Again, it's a little bit slower when you multi-stop, so just remember that. Now you're going to select your flights you need. I'm not going to select anything. Just kind of show you. So you have your flights up here. Hotel for one night in Destination 1. Destination 2 is when they're on the cruise. And so you can see that destination is blank. Then you have your one night post-cruise. So you would just select whatever components that you want in the destinations of Miami. So that's how you would build a pre- and post-cruise. It's pretty simple. Next one we're talking about is an open jaw. So the open jaw is where your customers are going to fly from one city, take their vacation, fly back to a different city. You can only do this in the multiple destinations page in BACS. So let's say you don't need technically 2 different destinations. Let's say for this example, they want to go from Milwaukee down to Miami, but then they need to fly out to Cleveland. Don't know why I selected Cleveland, but they need to fly back to Cleveland. So they only need one destination. Well, let's go ahead and do that. So we have our flights from Milwaukee. I'm going to keep my same departure dates, same destination. Change your number of nights to what you need for your destination, for your trip. All right. So now here we only need 2 stops minimum. I'm going to remove my other destination. All right, so that is removed. And now we're going to look at destination 2. Okay, so destination 2, I don't need another destination. So here's how you would do this. You would put destination 2 the same as your first destination. So let's remove that. Put Miami back in. Change the number of nights to 0. So now we have satisfied the 2 destinations. And just remember to deselect everything, because it's a dummy destination. And now we can change our return flight. So all you would do is just change it back to wherever you need to go. So I'm putting in Cleveland. And hit search. And let's take a look how this looks when the availability pulls up. And so let's wait for this to pull up. There we go. Alright, so you're going to select your flights as you need. Alright, so I'm just going to select that. Then you're going to select your hotel that you need. And then destination 2 is blank because it's a 0-night stay. You don't need to select anything. That's the way how you would get it to leave from one city, take your trip, go back to a different city, if you only need one destination. So that is all I have for you guys. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat and then we can go over it together. All right, someone's asking a question. How to increase commission amounts. So that's under your booking administration. So when you're in your availability, you click on booking administration and add the amount that you want. So let's say 200. Then hit set commission. And so you notice it went from $29.88.58. We added 200, so $31.88.58. And again, just remember, anytime you add an agency fee or increase your commission, there's a 10% processing fee. So you can see it went from 287 to 467. So it went up 180 and not the 200. If you want to do the percentage option, you can. Let's see here. Let's do 10%. Nobody really uses the actual commission, the percentage, but you can. So it adjusted the commission 10%. Or if you want to do 20%, okay. Just put in 20, it's that commission, and then it adjusted your commission 20%. If you need to remove it, put 0, then hit set commission. In the 11 years I've been here, I haven't seen anyone use the commission percentage portion, but it is there for you guys. Okay, so we talked about adding the commission again. So let's take a look here. Anytime you add an agency fee, the customer doesn't see that. The customer never sees your commission portion. It'll just increase your package price. All right, questions, anybody? Bueller? Nothing? All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and unmute the call then real quick in case you want to say any questions out loud. Okay, so everyone is off of mute in case you want to speak up and have any questions instead of chatting. Is everyone kind of comfortable with what we talked about today? Yeah, it really will. It's that affiliate site, that GoFundMe site. You guys are going to make money without actually working. I think everybody wants that. Yeah, exactly. Same thing with that payment link. You have your reservation on hold. Email it over to them. You don't have to be in the office to collect that payment, or you don't have to be in the office to actually make that booking. You could be having a cocktail or out at a play or whatever it may be, and still be making money. So just before we wrap up, I just kind of want to point out under Agent Tools, you have your education page. We have an award-winning education page. If you click on there and click on Education Campus, you can click on a calendar of learning, like live learning events where we do weekly webinars. So if you click on that and view the calendar, if it's something that piques your interest, you can register and learn about it. Or if you, under your education campus and self-help library, we have content in here for whatever you may need. So let's say you forget how to add an agency fee or increase your commission. So you can go in here. All right, so there's something that says set your own commission. You can click on that. There's a small video or step-by-step instructions for you. Or let's say you forgot how to build a multi-stop reservation. Okay, let's see what we have in here. Building a multiple destination itinerary. Here's a video for you, or step-by-step documents. So just remember you have this resource for you guys if you forget how to do something. Because it's going to be a lot quicker for you and more efficient, especially during peak season, than calling in. Obviously, there are going to be some things that you need to call in for, but just remember you have this at your disposal. And we do go in there and update content on a pretty regular basis for you. Okay, well, that's what I got for you guys today. What I will do from here is I will go ahead and render the video for you, and I'll be sending that over to you, Vicki. And then you can go ahead and distribute to your agents, or if somebody missed the training today, they can watch it. And then from here, I will email. Once I email that over to you, I'll CC Anthony on it, and he'll go ahead and reach out to you for dates and times that you would like for your group training. No, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy day to spend with me. Kept me company because I get lonely sometimes. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, and let me know if you need anything ever. I'm always happy to help you out. And thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend after tomorrow.